Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Fortress Comic News, episode 294. I am one of your hosts, Chris, alongside my co-host, your Mike. What's happening, Mike?
What up? I'm just happy that it's almost Christmas time, man. I know you've been going a little crazy at work. It's probably the worst time of year for that. But
yeah, I'll be happy on January 1st.
We no interviews till like the end of the year, folks. But since we got to fill some time here, I want to talk about this dice. And I know I've sent it within our D&D group, but this dice company, I've been buying these like holiday themed dice they make for like Halloween, and well, now they do the holidays one. So because there's like Christmas, Hanukkah. They're like blind bag dice. It's called Foam Brain, and they're made out of Albany around here. But they have a website, and I did some blind bags because I'm a sucker for those. But they have like this one's called like Winter Town or like Winter Village. So each one is like winter themed. So I got this nice red metal one that has like some carol bells on it. I don't know. It won't
Nice.
focus. Then I got this green one with like red sparkles that has like a Christmas tree on it. It's pretty sick. The cool thing, because they always come with like a pin, the cool thing about it is this year the Christmas Village comes with pins that you can turn into ornaments. And so like I got myself a kobold holding an axe like in the winter. So I'm going to hang that one on the tree. And then there's like this, I think it's just a frog sledding with presents. It's awesome. I like it. It scratches the itch for me of like opening magic cards because I don't do that anymore. Yeah. And it's actually stuff I'm going to use because I'm always looking for a new dice to roll because my rolls are usually shit in D&D. So,
you can never have too many D20.
Mm-hmm.
That's in my other group. We have two newbies, and the one guy. He like at the second session he had bought two more sets of dice, and he was telling us, he goes, well, I told my wife that I ordered these two, and she was like, well, didn't you already have a set? Why don't you have it? And he had to explain to her like, because those ones don't work, and like she didn't understand it because she's not like one of us. And I was like, like you just have to tell her like this is just how it is, like it's just let it be. I can't
grab the set I got for Katie, but it's over there in the corner. Foam Brain makes these other ones where they put like figures or animals inside the clear dice, and they have like dinosaur sets. So she has like ones that have like brontosaurus, like mini brontosaurus inside, and they have like T-Rex. They have like pandas. They have crazy shit you can buy. It's so awesome. Dice are so cool now.
That's solid. Yeah.
So Foam Brain, check them out.
I like my LED shiny ones.
Ooh, I think we got those on Kickstarter, right? Did you get those?
No, I got those at Terrificon.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
they actually have like a charge unit they go into.
Oh shit, those are way better than the ones I have. I think I have to put like mine have like screws on them. They're like metal, and you have like actually run off a battery and shit. Yeah,
these have like rechargeable. I can put them in a USB-C. And just charge them up, and then when you roll them, like as soon as they hit, they start to flash in different colors. They're really cool.
So cool. That's awesome. Yeah. Anyways, folks, we're here. It's comic news. We're winding down towards the end of the year. Not really news. We'll get to the news in a second, but I saw James Gunn. James Gunn knows how to like mess with the fans because he's been tweeting quite a bit about the DC stuff, and the thing he tweeted the other day was like, oh, he's working really hard, or like putting his like he said this picture seems fitting for what's going on, and it was the Kingdom Come universe, them all sitting around the table like deliberating, and everybody immediately took it right with it. Oh, he's doing Kingdom Come already. Come on, this is why the DC universe sucks. I'm like, no, he just picked the picture because they're all sitting around like having a meeting.
It's funny because that's so that shows what your social media is. What mine was everybody like freaking out, like, oh, Kingdom Come's like what they're gonna do. Oh my god, I can't wait. I'm just like, everybody calm the fuck down. Like maybe one day he'll get the Kingdom Come.
Yeah.
But like he's literally using that to be like, it's all the bigwigs sitting around a table.
Yeah. But you know why he picked that picture to be like, oh, this is gonna I'm gonna start trending on Twitter immediately after I post this. He knows what he's doing, and he knows what the fans get excited about, so that makes me excited.
I was kind of like, so I like Kingdom Come. It's a really good story. The art's really great. All that, blah blah blah.
Yep.
I think it's just the people I'm around. I'm kind of sick of hearing about Kingdom Come.
Yeah.
I think it's because so many people tell me how it's like the greatest thing since the invention of, I don't know, since sliced bread, I guess is the saying.
Yeah. And
I'm just like, it's a really, in any other context, it'd be like a top 5 book for me. But like, because people just constantly suck that book's dick, I'm like, okay, you take the joy out of it for me. Cause I'm like, I don't know. There's something about that.
Chris is just a curmudgeon.
I'm a curmudgeon, and I've started to learn that I'm kind of a contrarian.
Mm. Yeah, people start to like things, and you poop on them. Yeah.
Not that I poop on them, but I think when people just like over exaggerate the greatness of something, it takes the joy out of from me.
Contrarian sounds
I need
like
to work on personally as a human being, but
contrarian sounds like a really shitty Decepticon.
It's actually what's the other fucking, not the Transformers, but it's a GoBot. That's what it is.
Oh, GoBot. Yeah, the GoBot. Yeah. We had. So, I mean, I get it. I love Kingdom Come. I bought the Absolute Edition.
It's a great book. Yeah.
For me, it was like when I got back into comics, I read it and I was like, "Holy shit!" Kingdom Come Superman is probably one of my favorite characters. So
I think the other thing too, because I've had this argument a bunch. I've heard people say that Kingdom Come's the book you give people to get them into comics, and I think that's so insane.
Yeah, no, I don't agree with that. Like, I read it and thought it was sick, but I definitely enjoyed it when I reread it after knowing about every single DC character. Like, you need to know about them all.
You were also coming back in, and you had like some backstory.
Yeah, I knew some of the characters and stuff like that, and like what they've done with them.
The conversation we were having is like a normie, like somebody that's never read a comic book before, but maybe has seen a few of the movies.
Yeah.
Or, is like knows about the movies or something.
Yeah.
And that's why I always said Dark Knight Returns, because Dark Knight Returns is where like comics shifted.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody knows Batman.
Right.
But I was told Kingdom Come, and I was like, Kingdom Come's great, but like it's great because it's built on so much. Like, you have to have some knowledge of what came before.
And like the main character is like dealing with the Spectre the whole time, so people would open the book and be like, "Who the fuck is this guy?"
Yeah, what is this?
But anyways,
so before we jump into the news, though, now that we're done talking about how I'm a curmudgeon. The rest of December, so like next 2 weeks, everybody, normal show, no guests. After Christmas will be the award show. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, just so you have a little timeline.
Yeah.
I will show this off really quick before we get into the news. They opened a Newbury Comics near me. They're predominantly in Massachusetts. They opened one of the mall here. Surprisingly, I walked in, they had like 5 comics on the shelf at Newbury Comics. Think about that for a second. And I talked to the guy, I'm like, hey, are you guys going to start? Because it's like, it's a record shop, it's a manga, it's one of those like FYE shops pretty much. But they focus on like manga records and comics and trading cards.
Records.
Yeah. And so I walk in, I'm like, hey, is there going to be more comics eventually? And he's like, yeah, we just manga sells. So there's like literally like 2, I don't know, they make like 8-foot long shelves that are about like, I don't know, 5 feet high of just like, that's what they have for comics, and maybe 5 comics sitting on the shelf, not even like this week's comics. And then I turn around and there's like 5 long bookshelves like you would see in Barnes & Noble of manga. And like full to the brim. And he's like, yeah, this is what we make money on. So we ordered this because they just opened. He's like, we'll be ordering more comics. And I was like, I get the business model. Like, you're probably selling way more manga. Because there was a lot of teens in there like reading manga. So, but long story short.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah. Stephanie Phillips' book, Grimm, #1 by Boom Studios, picked up this nice shiny foil cover because I'm a sucker for that shit. So it was a good book. Just want to show this off because it's shiny. See, woo. Yeah, I'm a big fan of that.
Ooh, shiny.
Yes, plus Stephanie Phillips is awesome.
I went to this restaurant the other night with some friends. It's called Nerdvana.
I've heard about this.
So apparently there's one in Rochester, and then the other one is in like bumfuck Texas.
Okay.
I don't know why those two places are connected, but yeah, that's apparently what the deal is. And the whole gimmick of the place is like it's a bar and restaurant for adults, but they have like board games, so you can like all sit around the table, eat food, and play board games, or they'll have like a PlayStation or a Switch or whatever, and you can play those. But personally, I was more interested in like the people I was hanging out with than like playing a video game. But anyway, so we went there,
right?
And everything's named after video game stuff. And I went and got this drink. I was like, "What is this thing right here?" And it was like this martini, but it was purple.
Oh, nice.
And it was the girliest drink on the planet, but it was delicious, everybody.
That's all right. Girly drinks can be delicious.
They are, and that's why guys should be allowed to drink them, because they're delicious.
I like how he said it was girliest drink. Purple's my favorite color, by the way. Just putting that out there.
It gets better or worse, depending on your perspective. So I'm like, this looks amazing. I'm gonna get this purple drink. It comes up. It sits in front of me, and I'm looking at it, and it's one of those drinks where they put like the glitter in it.
Oh yeah.
So it's just like swirling with glitter.
Yep.
Yeah. And I was like,
amazing.
this is amazing. I'm gonna drink all of this.
Yep.
And then there's a picture of me on Facebook holding the drink up, and everybody's just like, the girly drink. I go, yeah, guys, it was delicious. Like, stop trying to be so manly.
Yeah,
I like beer too. I like guy things too, but like once in a while, I want something with some fruit in it. Like,
yeah, right. Yeah, it's strange how people can't enjoy tasty things because they. Yeah, that's awesome.
I tell that story to tell you the next day I took a dump and I was trying to see if I had glitters in my dumps and I couldn't find it.
Nothing. Oh man, there was a beer that I found called Unicorn Poop, and it was like beer with like confetti in it, like the crystal like glitter.
We had to wait like an hour for a reservation, or for the table to open. And what's nice is they took your phone number down. They texted you when the table is open.
Yeah,
right next door there's a brewery, and they had a beer called Chalky Milk, and it had Baby Yoda on it. Of course, wasn't able to get one, but it was a chocolate vanilla porter. There was something else in there I'm forgetting, but it just sounded so goddamn good. Also,
Grogu being on it, hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Let's talk about comics.
Okay. Let's get into the news now. No, I'm excited you went because I've been hearing good things about that place. Disney announced Mandalorian Season 3 will premiere March 1st, 2023, everybody. That's pretty soon. Only a few months away.
Doesn't it feel like forever since we had Mandalorian stuff?
Yeah, it's because we had the Boba Fett in between there, right?
Yeah. Oh, and then, and with Andor.
Oh, yeah, shit, I gotta watch that. I started watching Yellowstone. That show is really fucking awesome.
I'm gonna hear good things about that.
Yeah, the seasons were on sale on Amazon because I didn't know where the hell else to buy them, so I bought a few of the seasons.
Peacock.
See, don't have it.
It's always Peacock. I've been watching reruns of Impractical Jokers because I've been getting home at fucking 7:30 at night.
Yeah. Want to turn your brain off. I get it. I do. But yeah,
I've been hearing good things about Yellowstone, but that's obviously I said last week Doom Patrol's on my list. Like I need to get to that.
Shit, yeah, I forgot about that. I'll probably catch up around Christmas time on that. The Boys Gen V trailer. Did not watch that. I saw Seth Rogen posting about it, how it's awesome, and then he was posting about how he's super excited about Ninja Turtles. But did you watch it?
It was super violent.
Of course.
It kind of. I wish you did watch it because I got like slasher horror vibes from it.
Oh,
where like it's about a school. Vought has a school, and it's like younger kids, and it seems like one of the kids is just like going around killing the other students. and they're trying to figure it all out and everything. So it had a different vibe. I didn't get like that kind of over the top silly vibe that The Boys has. Some characters from The Boys are in there. A-Train. The chick who loses her hair. I forgot her name already. A bunch of other ones. So
cool.
It's Boys adjacent. I'll watch it.
Big trailer drop this weekend. Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I thought it looked a lot of fun. Kind of like, I think I'm being harsh on Chris Pratt, but kind of like the holiday special. It looks like he's not really getting that fit for this role anymore. He looks a little bulkier than he did before. I don't know if it's just me, but other than that, I mean, the movie looks like a lot of fun. It looks actually pretty serious compared to the other ones.
Yeah.
Like, this is going to be a sad, depressing ending for the Guardians. I have a feeling.
If we're going into Rocket's backstory, there's no way to do that not depressing.
Yeah. And I think we see Adam Warlock for a split second in the trailer, maybe?
We do. 100%, yeah.
Yeah. Is that the guy with the gem in his head?
Yeah, all gold with the gem.
Yeah, yep. That's what I figured.
Yeah, I'm down. I love Adam Warlock. Like, that whole Infinity Saga, Jim Starlin, Marvel is some of the best. Yeah, it's probably going to be a very... I mean, we're dealing with... So, Star-Lord's depressed because the woman he loves is dead, but then back. But even though she's alive, she doesn't remember that they fell in love. So now he has to deal with that.
Yeah.
Like, Rocket, we're dealing with his backstory, which is depressing as fuck. Everybody. Although we will get more cute animal hybrid thingies, which is always fun.
Yep.
I'm sure Drax will crack some good jokes. Groot's a awkward teenager.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
So that's going to be a thing. And then Mantis... she's in it. I don't remember her being in the trailer, though.
Yeah, we didn't see much of her. So maybe she's taking like a backseat or something.
And then if Adam Warlock's involved, that means the Universal Church is involved, which means we're going to hit some really hardcore religious themes. And I would not be shocked if that means Drax dies.
Yeah. Yeah, we might see
Every time Drax dies, it's because of them.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and the villain, I didn't recognize the villain. He almost looks like Ronan the Accuser. He's like got a blue suit and stuff. It looks like someone from the church. And almost like he's wearing a cloak or something. Yeah,
that's why I think it's got to be someone from the church because the church is who resurrects Adam Warlock.
Yeah, right.
So unless they're going a different route, I mean, they may not be following the comics, but
I would love to see some Guardians 3000 shit.
I hope the 3000 Guardians come back because they were fun in the last movie.
Yeah, with Sylvester and stuff. I would love to see that. Yeah. Some leaked images online for the model for Spider-Man 4, Sam Raimi's defunct sequel, and what Vulture would look like, played by John Malkovich. Yeah, I saw the suit and stuff. That was pretty sick. You know I love Sam Raimi, man. I still would have liked to see a Spider-Man 4 from him. I don't know.
Yeah, so I'm assuming that script was completed.
Yeah.
Like if they went far enough to like make sculptures and like wings and everything.
Yeah, there's a script
for Vulture.
Somewhere.
So Marvel, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Put out a 12-issue series.
Yeah. Let Sam Raimi write it.
Well, I mean, if Raimi wants to be involved, God bless. Like, go do it.
Right.
But even if it's somebody just takes that script and is just like convert it to a comic, like they did with so many of those like defunct Kevin Smith movies back in the day.
Right, exactly.
You know everybody will buy that.
I would buy it, for sure.
Yeah.
Hands down.
I'll buy the crap out of it, so...
Yep.
But the sculptures look cool. Vulture's a cool character. It looked more like what the comic version was, which, you know, what if, you know, we got that world, but it looked cool.
I have been seeing, speaking to Sam Raimi, a lot of stuff leaking. Well, not leaking, but they posted some images from Evil Dead Rise, and I've heard good things about it, so I cannot wait for that movie.
Is that the yet another remake?
Yeah,
of
another
Dead?
reboot, but Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi are working on it together. So
I know. How many times can Raimi remake that movie?
Yeah, I think they're gonna do it. I mean, I liked the last remake, but it was not like it didn't have. Basically, the image they showed is like out of focus with some of the characters. It like reminds me of the wonkiness of the first original series of like camera angles and zooming in on people's faces and weird, wacky horror shit. Yeah, so we have some news about what's coming from the DC Entertainment Universe. Some other stuff too. There was some like movie. There's some like movie con this weekend, and we got some posters for Flash and stuff. I don't know if you've seen that stuff, but I saw the new Flash poster with his new suit. It looks really cool.
There was Flash and a Beetle or Blue Beetle.
Yeah, Blue Beetle poster. Yep.
I mean, if I can be honest, I don't believe those posters.
Yeah,
everybody's talking about the release dates and everything, and I don't buy that they're going to happen on those days. So
yeah, they're releasing posters and merch at this con, and I don't know, some of the way the Flash was marketed was like, two idiots, a powerless alien, and a retired superhero are traveling through time. And like the way they did it, it was almost like the tone seemed really cool, and I think it could be a lot of fun. Like it wasn't taking itself too seriously, which, and everything I hear about it, like the people watching the Flash movie, it's getting crazy good fan reviews, or at least people that are reviewing the movie. So we'll see if it actually happens. But
so they're gonna call it Flashpoint, but they're not gonna do Flashpoint.
No, it's not. Is it actually called Flashpoint? No.
I thought it was.
No, it's called The Flash. I think it's just called The Flash, but like in the poster, it was like you have to save the past and the future, something like that. It was like in the slogan, like save the future, save the past, or something.
I could be wrong about this, but let me look it up.
Yeah, I thought it was just called The Flash, but I don't know. I thought the poster looked cool. Anyways, in the poster, you see the Flash's new suit, and it's not like the pieced together suit we saw before. It's more of the new 52 style. It looks pretty sick.
First thing that pops up is the Flash canceled.
Yeah, that's what we're wondering too. But anyways, while he's looking that up, we got more info about some James Gunn stuff. He confirms that he's not heading the DC Comics, but just the movie and TV division, and talking with Comics division about synergy. He also said the plan moving forward is for all TV and video game projects to be set inside the cinematic universe, which is pretty cool. I guess it makes it less confusing for all the fans, which is always good. I wonder what that means. I mean, hopefully that means we don't get shitty video games.
So, real quick, I couldn't find anything in a cursory. I might have made that up in my head that they were doing Flashpoint. I thought they were, but yeah. So TV, yes, do that. Make it all one thing. I don't care what DC fans tell me. They're gonna keep being mad at me about this shit. But like, you having 2 Flashes and 50 Batmen is too confusing to the average person. Like
Batman, all the Batman.
Like everything needs to be cohesively. And listen, Marvel didn't do it good from day one. Shield's a show. Like, I remember the Immortals show. It was trash.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm not saying they were perfect from day one, but like they've shown through the years how to do it properly, and that's just how it needs to go. Like, it's too confusing to the brand to not do it that way.
Yeah. No,
video games.
Yeah. You have some strong opinions about this one.
I don't think they're dumb enough. I shouldn't say that, but I don't think that people are dumb enough in the video game world anymore to just make like slap the title of the movie on there and rush it out.
I hope so.
I don't think that's what we're getting. At the same time, game development is hard. It's going to be really hard to time out your stuff to be like, and this new Superman video game is set in the world of the DC universe and have it be a part of the story.
Mm-hmm.
And B, you're not going to be able to do anything too consequential in that video game because my dad ain't going to buy a fucking Superman video game and play it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you just cut him out of your universe.
Yeah.
So I'm intrigued on what that means. Like,
yeah,
I'm a little concerned about that one.
Maybe if they just use Henry Cavill's voice or something for the Superman or some shit like that, like that'd be fun. But we'll see.
It would be. I mean, if let's say they're going to bring Henry Cavill, it looks like they are. But let's say they do it. So we're going to reboot Superman, whatever. If it's like Superman 1 is we redo the origin again because nobody knows that Krypton blew up, and he fights Lex at the end of the movie, and then in Superman 2 he's going to fight Doomsday, whatever. And then you're like, we're going to do this video game. It's set between Superman 1 and 2 where Superman fights Brainiac. And then Brainiac's going to be in Superman 3.
Yeah.
I can see that working.
Yeah, okay. You just sold me, dude. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay.
You would still have to redo the whole Brainiac thing in the movie because then, once again, my dad's going to be like, what's this? But
yeah. That would even get me excited for like the universe of like, because they'll do you'll fight other villains and shit and be like, oh, if they nod to that like in a later movie, that'd be sick. You know, I get that.
Yeah. So
okay,
but I'm keeping a very close eye on that one because, like I said, video game development's hard, and even Marvel they didn't even go near that when they had the chance. They were like, fuck that, we ain't touching it.
Yeah,
the Spider-Man game from Insomniac has just its own thing.
I mean, we recently got the Gotham Knights game, but I'm pretty excited to see the Suicide Squad kill the Justice League game. I do want to play that. I
really want to play that Midnight Suns game, but I'm tapped out in terms of video games right now.
Yeah, it's got too much.
I'll wait till it goes on sale.
Comic news: Marvel announced that Patsy Walker is getting a limited series spinning out of Cantwell's Iron Man run. The series will be written by Christopher Cantwell with art by Alex Linz. That's cool.
Christopher Cantwell's really excited.
Yeah, for sure.
He's the only one.
Yep.
No, Hellcat's that's one of like the oldest Marvel characters, to be honest. Like she goes way back, so that's cool. Cantwell wants to do that. I couldn't get into his Iron Man. Probably not going to do this one.
Yeah. I'm pretty excited for this one. He-Man's getting a new series set in the Kevin Smith universe this February. First issue is called Masters of the Universe Masterverse, written by Tim Seeley, a new creative team each issue. Yo, this is the this is the multiverse of He-Man. Oh, hell yeah, let's go. This, as someone who's not like that rooted and deep in the He-Man lore, I just love the character and like when he fights people with his muscles. This is going to be for me because they did some of that in the I've seen where they've gone in between like He-Man universes before and brought in like little cartoon He-Man and shit like that. I think this is awesome.
Yeah, I won't dig deeper into the He-Man, but it sounds like a cool concept. Like, I mean, I like the fact that He-Man has like a multiverse and to bring in like a different creative team. The show was phenomenal. Yeah,
the show is really good.
I'm really excited for the next season, which is saying a ton because I just I could never get it up for He-Man.
Yeah, it's He-Man. Yeah. I mean, He-Man was made to sell toys. It wasn't supposed to be this good when you watch it.
Literally. I mean, So many of those things. That's why, like, I want someone to do a really good Ron the Space Knight thing because, like, Ron was to sell toys too.
Yeah, it was just to sell a toy, bro.
Yeah. And I really love those old comics. So, like, if somebody took that seriously, So
yeah, for sure. All right, with that, I guess we'll. And also if we don't get an issue that involves Fister, I mean, come on, what are you guys doing?
Yeah, if you come here and you tell me like issue 3 is all about Fistor and it's written by Ralph Garman, I will go buy that issue. That will happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
It sells itself pretty much. All right, I'm going to talk about what I read this week, what you read this week. Stuff that I haven't gotten to yet. I'm still behind. I'm like set aside all the Dark Crisis stuff to catch up on, like the World's Without Justice League, the Dark Crisis, Dark Army. Haven't read DC. Sergeant Rock, Army of the Dead. Haven't read yet.
I read. Sorry to cut in. I read the Batman World Without Justice League. Fuck, that was good.
Okay, good, because it's still on my list to read. I just haven't gotten to it yet.
Yeah, anyone out there, if you haven't, even if you're not reading Dark Crisis, like just it's an Elseworlds book, whatever. Yeah, it's really fucking good.
I'll talk about Grimm #1, Stephanie Phillips, Flaviano on the art. It was okay, solid first issue. Really love the colors and the art. Have you read this?
No.
I forgot it even came out. I won't continue with it. I did like it for what it is. Stephanie Phillips, love supporting her. Shout out to you, you're awesome. But it's a book about how there's all these different like Grim Reapers, and one of them, she happens to lose her scythe, gets stolen by a human, and she goes back to like the real world to like find the scythe, and then the humans can see her, which is not supposed to happen. So there's going to be consequences from like the higher ups, because it's like there's like this whole like almost like office structure for like the Grim Reapers and the people above that, and like nobody actually ever sees death. So it was pretty interesting. I could see myself like buying the trade of this when it comes out or something.
Which is probably already out, because that book, like that issue came out over a year ago.
Was it over a year ago?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? And I looked on it too. This was it said 2022. This is the 5th printing of it. Yeah. So this is like this is the special. It just came out because of the 5th printing. That's why it's a shiny cover. But yeah, you are right.
The trade's probably out right now.
Yeah. Vanish #3. You talked about this. Good issue. More magic fighting shit. DC versus Vampires 10 and 11. Caught up on that. I think the scene with the bat signals was cool, where they're using the bat signals to like burn vampires. The fight in Gotham with the Bat family, and then like we finally get to the point where Kara is trying to get out of the world to like get the yellow sun to like heal herself, and then the ship blows up. We don't know what happened, so it was a pretty great couple issues I just read. 8 Billion Genies #6. Did you read this bad boy?
Behind on that one.
Okay, this is actually, we do a big time jump. This is by Charles Soule and Ryan Brown. So basically it goes through the first 8 years. The first book was the first year, or first 8 months, I think.
Mm-hmm.
This goes through the first 8 years, and we follow the 3 groups that have split off. And there's kind of like, we see all these different cities that are set up, and one city is trying to take over all the other communities. And we see like, we see the Asian couple with the baby. We see them. We see the kid where his father, he became a superhero and his father resurrected his mother in another society. And then the group members of the band are all together. So it's a really interesting issue. So that was the first 8 years. And I think the next issue, they say the first 8 decades or some shit. They're just like flying away with this. It's pretty interesting. And there's other like rules that start applying when you have a genie for so long. Some weird shit starts happening. Bloodborne, Lady of the Lanterns, #3. This is Bunn and Kowalski on this. Really sad story. I mean, that's how the whole Soulsborne universe is. This guy runs out to like go find food for his kids, and he comes up with he meets a hunter, and they end up fighting this like demon because he thinks his kids are dead. So he ends up dying and find out his kids are alive. And then one of the hunters meets up with another hunter, and they're like, hey, they're like this whole group of hunters, and they're like, hey, we're going out to, kill beasts and all this shit. So next issue should be a lot of fun, a lot of fighting. Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings 4 and 5. Jean Lin Yang, Marcus To. So this gets kind of crazy. There's a Ghostmaker in Marvel. I didn't know this. So we all know that Ghostmaker showed up in DC this year, or like end of last year. Ghostmaker in Marvel is from the '80s Master of Kung Fu run, and his dad was in the KGB. It's kind of crazy. This story is crazy. I love the story though because it all takes place. It's like a kung fu tournament.
So wait, are you telling me that the KGB has a kung fu master? Because that's phenomenal.
Oh hell yeah! And it's the Ghostmaker, way cooler than the one we got in Batman. Shang-Chi gets all 10 rings taken away by these like higher like worldly beings. They're called the Game Masters. They host a tournament with 10 people. They give each of the 10 people one ring, and they say like whoever's going to be like you all fight each other on different levels of the tournament until you get down to just 2 people. And that's how you'll win all 10 rings. There's this evil demon thing called the Worm Spawn that's possessing one of the heroes. And then you find out the origin. I guess there used to be 12 rings and not 10 rings. And they were used to seal up this Worm Spawn demon. And that's why it's part of the tournament now to get the rings and like take over the world or some shit. Pretty cool. And then they start talking about Neza, like the devil Neza that we see in DC. This Neza is actually a hero in their ancient times that like fought off the Worm Spawn demon thing. So, man, a lot of similarities to DC in one issue. It's kind of funny. I love both though. I mean, whatever. Finished up Prodigy by Mark Miller. This is the Icarus Society, 4 and 5. Kind of a crazy ending. They find the Shangri-La and all the peaceful community that it is. Basically, this army shows up, starts killing people, and the Prodigy guy was, he was one-upping everybody and saves the whole place, and now he's going to go search for his father in the 3rd series. So, still good stuff. Okay, I got a couple I'm going to save for the end because I read Stargirl, and I remember you told me if it was good, I would let you know, and it was good. So I feel bad. I got to let you know. So you got to read it now.
Still not going to read it.
Okay, I'm going to talk about My Bad. This is My Bad version 2, number 1. Russell, Ingman, and Krause. I forgot My Bad was coming back out. Love this series. Love Mark Russell on this book. We get a lot of different, the characters we saw in the first series. Chandelier is coming out of retirement. There's basically a dude dressed as a pizza guy going around and he's killing heroes, but they have the names of actual heroes. So like, instead of Spider-Man, he kills a guy named like Spider-Man. And I don't know if he's doing it on, I don't know if he's doing it on purpose or like, he's just doing it as like a serial killer, but it's pretty funny because he has like it's like a prosthetic of like a pizza man when he answers the door, he like pops out of the pizza box and like shoots them.
Jesus.
Yeah, then there's like a whole nother side where Emperor Kid wants to go on a dating app for superheroes, so he like borrows someone's like Iron Man suit and he goes on a date with a hero called Good Karen. Basically took her name as Karen and wanted to rewrite the origin of Karen. So she buys like a 3rd world country so she can train and become a kung fu master at the 3rd world country.
I'm sorry, lady. To anyone that was named Karen before, a couple of years ago, I apologize, but it's come too far. It's too perfect.
But the origin is like her trying to save her name, but she's really just a Karen. It's just hilarious. So Mark Russell's hitting all the notes again with this book. Really good. Batman Superman.
To extend that conversation just a second,
yeah,
we really need to find the male version of Karen.
Yeah, it's been like pushed around a few, but I don't know. We haven't actually settled on a name yet.
There's not one that's so perfect like Karen.
Yeah,
but we need a male version. Yeah. I'm going to throw that out there. Go ahead.
Batman Superman World's Finest number 9. This is Wade Dan Moore on the art. Little interesting because we find Joker and Key are working together. They're not like working for one another. Basically, Joker wants Key to find something to bend space and time so he can like flood Gotham with the river, like open up a portal, and then he basically does that to capture the new sidekick, and then he Jokerizes him at the end, Superman's new sidekick. So I'm sure that'll be really bad for everybody. Mark Waid's killing it. This is a lot of fun I've had with a Batman Superman book. Very refreshing. Okay, so we're going to talk about Justice Society of America #1, Jeff Johns and Janin on the art.
I am very intrigued about this conversation, so let's do it.
Did you read it?
I did.
Okay, I will say this. I liked this a lot more than the one shot. Okay?
Okay.
I don't know if that surprised you or not. I do like that it follows Huntress. I really like her character. And she's basically, her and the new JSA she's put together, who are a bunch of like villains, are trying to investigate what happened to Dr. Fate.
Hot take. Better than the original Justice Society. Simply because Gentleman Ghost is in it.
Yeah, Gentleman Ghost is awesome. And then we get this new villain that shows up and controls time, and he just fucks them all over and kills them all. Which was awesome. And then Catwoman throws Huntress the orb that contains, I believe, so like where we left off was it contains the Flashpoint Earth, or like it's put like that Flashpoint Batman on Earth 2 or something like that. I don't think we ever settled on what was happening there.
So there is a snow globe that I think Batman has.
Okay.
That has the Flashpoint timeline in it.
Yeah.
But I think that kid, because that kid was in Golden Age.
Right.
The one shot.
Yep.
I'm wondering if... I'm thinking that the guy that she's fighting is that kid.
Oh.
And he's using the globe, or the snow globe, as a part of his gimmick, because he had snow globes in Golden Age as well. So I don't know if it's the exact Flashpoint one that he had, but I think it's like just part of his thing.
I thought at the end of the book, maybe I read it wrong. I thought Catwoman was throwing her the snow globe.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Oh, and that changes everything, man.
That's why I thought it was like Catwoman got it from the Batcave and like threw it at her and like sent her back in time with it to save her, because she was about to die. So her Catwoman threw it because she knew it would like send her back in time. Because by the end of the issue, she ends up in 1940. She's not dead because the guy was literally killing her. And it looks like it's the original JSA. So I don't know, like, if it's the same snow globe, which it looked like it was from the Batcave. I don't know if we're in Earth 2. Or if we're like it just sent her back in time on the Earth that they're on now. I'm sure we'll learn that, but like just to be back in the 1940s with the original JSA is fucking awesome.
I assumed you were going to be very angry because we got basically zero JSA in this book.
Yeah, I will say that, like, I know it's going to be like it's going to be rewarding to stick with it. Like I thought it was a solid first issue. I like the whole... I like that they had a new group that they called the JSA, and like they talked about it and all this stuff. But I will say, for my JSA like needs, Stargirl and the Lost Children #1 was, I think, took the ticket for me here, and I didn't think I would say that. The only reason I read it was because I was reading some reviews on the Reddit page for DC Comics of like what people thought about JSA #1, and people were like, I still liked Stargirl #1 better, and I'm like, is this guy fucking joking? So then I read it and I was like, no, this is Golden Age comics, like in a book. Basically for Stargirl and the Lost Children, most of the Golden Age heroes that have gone missing, most of the sidekicks have gone missing from Golden Age heroes from like the 1940s. So it talks about how there's like one guy left, and how all of these heroes from the JSA had sidekicks and like nobody knew about them. And they're all, so like Stargirl and Red Arrow, who's Kimiko, Green Arrow's daughter, or no, sister. I can't remember. I think it's sister. Stargirl and her are searching for all the sidekicks because they're like onto something, and they got a message from one of them, like in the past. The TNT sidekick Dynamite is like the only one that's left, and he gets a message to go to this island. He gets to the island and he like turns back into a kid from like the 1940s, and I think someone else is there, or there's a group of like sidekicks that are there. But like there's a lot of flashbacks to like the 1940s and like JSA era like crime fighting. The art is amazing, and it's like a really interesting story because they talk about like they name like Liberty Bell and all these heroes from like that timeline. It was a lot of fun. So I'm probably going to stick with that series too.
You should. So based on people I know, friends, other people in comics, you should check out the Stargirl show then.
Yeah, I really should.
Because what you just described sounded to me like how people describe the Stargirl TV show to me.
Okay. I'll have to check it out.
But I'll say for JSA, because I'm not going to read a Stargirl book. I'm sorry. But
all right.
For JSA, it was a little confusing in the fact that I wish they just had Earth 2.
Yeah, just
and
say
did it
Earth
that
2.
way.
Right.
As opposed to trying to like get Helena Huntress into Earth Prime or whatever we're calling it, and then at the same time bring her back to the JSA. Like it was just, I don't know, it was a little confusing and just like their logic of how to do it. It would have just been like, just call it Earth 2 and go back. Like just do that. I like that better.
Right.
But that's me nitpicking. I really love that issue. If you put Gentleman Ghost in a comic, like I'm in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty easy. Easy pick.
And I actually love one of my favorite parts of it was like the new old characters. So like those legacy villains that were like kids of people that Johns is just like, yeah, these were always here, even though they never were.
Like the Mist. Yeah, the Mist.
Yeah, and like the Red Lantern, for instance.
Red Lantern, yeah, that was sick. Yep.
That was a great way to introduce those characters. Like that's some of the best storytelling Johns has done in a long time.
Yeah, just make them descendants. Yeah.
Yeah, and how he brought them in and everything. Like that's love that part. I'll be really interested in how the next issue goes. But I remember reading it, and actually last night I read it, and I finished it, and I didn't even want to text you because I just wanted to talk to you in person about it because I'm like I feel like Mike is just so pissed off right now.
I mean, it is one thing to put the JSA on the cover and like not have them in it. Yeah. But knowing that we went back tonight, like we weren't in the setting to just like, I understand they just set it up like this, but I need to know how she's in 1940 and what Earth we're on. If they resolve that, then like, okay, I can fully enjoy the book. But knowing that she's in 1940s, that we're going to see the original JSA like before all this shit starts happening, I'd be really interested to see how that works.
Yeah, as a Huntress fan, I'm just happy to have a Huntress book. So
yeah, I do like the fact that it follows Huntress. I do like that. I think
she's such a great character.
Yeah, but that is all I had this week. Quite a bit of comics.
All right, I don't have much, as I kind of said at the top. Been working my tail off, but I did get to read Captain America: Symbol of Truth #7. Really great issue. So in the last issue, this is the one with Sam Wilson. Last issue, Sam was like protecting this woman who was a fictitious country leader, and she ends up getting assassinated. So he has to go in and kind of figure out what happened, and to do that, he has to go into the country, which is currently under like a civil war, and he's told he has to bring in a partner because the current Falcon was also attacked during that, and he's in the hospital. And he ends up meeting with none other than Ian Rogers, Steve Rogers' estranged son from Dimension Z, who is going under the name of Nomad right now, which for somebody that's been reading Captain America for a long time, huge nerd boner when he popped up. I really like that Dimension Z story from almost a decade ago now. And they go into the area and they help people, blah blah blah, meet some people, decide where to go. But the big revelation is at the end. Spoilers: something's wrong with Falcon, and I think he's a vampire, but they don't say.
Oh no!
Planet Hulk World Breaker #1. Kind of a letdown of an issue, to be honest with you. But it was all about it's 1,000 years after the events of Planet Hulk, and basically this world has been pretty brutalized by what Hulk did, like, because he destroyed one of the moons, like, he left radiation everywhere, and he has this whole descendants of people that have green skin and have gamma radiation. And they're now being hunted by people who are afraid of them and hate them. You know, that whole thing that happens here and there. And we ended up finding out that somehow Amadeus Cho came to the planet and is living there, but there's something wrong with him. And he's been tasked with trying to help this little kid and save him from these people who are trying to imprison all of these green gamma radiated people. And we find out that somewhere on the planet Banner is around. So it's kind of how you felt with JSA, where I'm like, when you give me a Planet Hulk book, like, I want Hulk in it.
Yeah. I get it.
The backup story to it is all about Scar, the son of Hulk. And him and She-Hulk are basically getting together and Scar's trying to figure out like what he's going to do. And long story short, he finds a mission. There's these aliens that came down during Planet Hulk, and people are hunting them down. So now he's going to try to save them. That was also another kind of meh story. I'm like, okay, whatever. But hopefully the next issue's better. Now we're going to get Banner back and actual Planet Hulk stuff. And then the big issue this week was Avengers Assemble Alpha #1. This is the beginning of the end of Jason Aaron's run. So there's a lot of Avengers running around. So hopefully you can stick with me. Current Avengers team went back in the past, and they're meeting up with the 1 million BC Avengers. They're trying to recruit them as part of their group of multiverse Avengers to fight the multiverse Masters of Evil. But like any good comic book, when these two teams meet, they have to fight.
Of course.
So, miscommunication, they fight, and then we find out that the Avenger Prime...
Oh, boy.
...has come to the time period to witness the two coming together, but he is met by Mephisto, who is kind of controlling the multiverse of Masters of Evil. And so they fight, then they realize, no, we're on the same team, so they come together. It's Agamotto as part of the 1 million BC Avengers, who is just like, we need to stop this, and he ends up stopping it. And that's when Doctor Doom shows up, but it's the Doctor Doom, I'm not going to remember which Earth he's from, I'm sorry, but it's from random Earth over here, who is known as the Doom Supreme. Who is the Sorcerer Supreme of his universe. We've seen him a few times in like Avengers Forever and a few other issues of Avengers. He's basically like the best Doom, or at least he thinks he's the best Doom there is. And he comes in, decides that he's going to try to kill a bunch of the 1 million BC Avengers because he's the one, that's who they're most afraid of. And like literally rips the eyes out of Agamotto and shit like that. So it gets like real brutal real fast.
That's awesome.
And there's a quick fight there. And then we go back to the present where all the other Avengers are waiting for the core Avengers team to get back. And they're in... It kind of reminded me of like Justice League Incarnate, where like they had this like watchtower on the other side of the multiverse. You remember that? That's what this team's doing. Like all these multiverse Avengers are doing. So like we see who we expect, like Captain Carter and like a different version of Moon Knight and all this shit. And they're waiting for Ghost Rider to show up, Robbie Reyes, who is the All Rider. And we end up finding out at the end of the issue that there's something wrong with Robbie. Like he can't transform back into Ghost Rider.
Oh boy.
And that's kind of how it ends it. Really good issue altogether. It hits a lot of the great tropes of comics. sets up the big event that's going to end the Avengers run for Jason. I'm really excited. But if you haven't been reading Avengers for a while, this is not a place to start. Just I get my excitement from reading it since the beginning, and I can see all the breadcrumbs along the way to get to here.
Right.
So, but I really liked it. Man. So
awesome! It sounds like an awesome book.
Yeah, if I could find where the multiverse stuff starts, because there's a point where like he goes on this multiverse trend and introduce the multiverse Masters of Evil and all that shit, and you started there and went forward. I really think you particularly would like it.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think a lot of people out there would really like it because it hits all those like great things that we've been enjoying about the movies and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So almost like it's synergy.
Yeah, imagine that.
But Mike, speaking of synergy, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me at Fortress Ricker on Twitter. Where can they find you and or the show?
You can find me on Twitter and most other social media platforms at Fortress Chris. You can find the show at FortressComics _ on Twitter or at FortressComicNews.com. Remember, everybody, to give us a 5-star review and podcatcher your choice, whether it's Spotify, Apple, iTunes, whatever. Like, subscribe, share, comment down below on the video version of this on YouTube. And if you want to go the extra mile, not only do a Patreon at patreon.com/FortressComics, but also the affiliate links in the show notes down below. So everybody, thank you so much for watching and listening this week. We'll see you all here next week.